Good day, everyone. I am Daisy Ventura from Group 4, and today we will discuss the topic given to us, which is about the editorial or opinion writing. So to get started, let us first define what is an editorial. Okay, so an editorial is an article that presents the newspaper's opinion on an issue. It is also called as opinionated paper. So it reflects the majority vote of the editorial board, the governing body of the newspaper, made up of editors and business managers. It is usually unsigned, and much in the same manner of a lawyer, editorial writers build on an argument and try to persuade readers to think the same way they do. So editorials are meant to influence public opinion, promote critical thinking, and sometimes cause people to take action on an issue. In essence, an editorial is an opinionated news story. So I believe editorial writing isn't new to us already. Now, maybe because some of you here already tried to join contests writing editorial way back in your elementary years, days, like that, or in high school, right? Okay, so in short, when we say editorial writing or editorial paper, it's about an opinionated paper, right? Based from facts, no, that requires thorough research, no, that cause other people to think the same way you do or the an editor do, and entertain them or to take an action on an issue. Okay, so that's it. Now let's have other definition of it. It is a critical interpretation of significant, usually contemporary events so that the readers will be informed, influenced, or entertained. It is the stand of the paper and not of an individual editor. So actually, as we can observe, no, in a newspaper, every time that there is a news or a new issue in the newspaper, we can see also the editorial writing there, wherein it don't just give information, but it gives opinion to the readers. No, that as what was mentioned, it does just give information, but make the public be influenced, no, and that influence them from their point of view on an issue or entertain them, just like as what I have said a while back. And also, it is the stand of the paper and not of an individual editor, because actually before you can publish an editorial paper, no, or you can include it in an article or magazine, it should be checked and critiqued first by the board of directors. No? So maybe you may think how. So later on, other reporters will share details and further discuss it. Okay. So the other definition is that editorials are believed to be the heart and soul of the newspapers. Each and every newspaper is incomplete without the editorial section. So just like what I have mentioned a while back, when there is a new story, new issue, no, around us or happening around us, there is also editorial paper in the newspaper, kung saan tinawag siyang heart and soul of the newspaper, because I believe this is where the only part in the newspaper na kung saan nabibigay or napapakita at na-share ng mga editors yung ano yung nasa puso nila, yung opinion nila. No? That it excites the readers to read it because it helps them to better understand the issue, and at the same time, yun nga, the purpose is that it will help or cause them to take an action on an issue. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now let us see what other or some authors give the other definitions on it, or explanations regarding editorials. So the first one is Joseph Pulitzer. So he said here, it is the expression of the people's conscience, cause, and convictions. Again, it is the expression of the people's conscience, cause, and conviction. So okay, of course, no, in an editorial, you as a writer, you don't just give information, no, you don't just write, but what is the reason behind of your writings? Okay, so I believe, and as you as a writer, you write because you have that sense of not just curiosity, but you are conscious on a certain issue, and that you write because you want the public better understand it, know the issue, and influence them to make a decision about a certain issue as you share your opinions. So something that will make them realize that, oh yeah, that's true. I didn't thought thought about that. Okay, so, but of course, your writing should be based only from facts. It's not just mere opinions, right? So that's why you should remember, guys, or class, that whenever you are writing editorial paper, you should have a thorough research, or you can also do interviews to support your opinion. Okay, so the next one is that the modern editorial includes analysis and clarifications, sometimes with no opinion given, by Arthur Capre. Again, the modern editorial includes analysis and clarifications, sometimes with no opinion given. Okay, so how come that there are some editorial papers that has no opinion, right? Now, sabi natin, ang editorial writing is about opinions of the editor. So, actually, based from what I have researched, from the experts, they say that there is no actually a specific definition of what is an editorial is, but the majority of the people thought or think about it as an opinionated paper. So that's the explanation of it. Okay, so now let's move on the third one. Bitterness, bias, and fear have no place in an editorial. They make for weakness no matter how much they bluster. From William Allen White. So again, he says, bitterness, bias, and fear have no place in an editorial. They make for weakness no matter how much they bluster. So as what we have said, editorial is and should be research-based, no? And should not, it should be unbiased in such a way that you present the pros and cons of an issue, why you disagree or agree on it, no? And that it says here, fear has no room in an editorial paper, because in writing editorial, you have to make a stand and present boldly your opinion, back up with credible resources to influence the readers. So, imagine if kung dyan pa lang, natatakot ka na, may bitterness as you write an editorial writing. So, that is what will make your paper weak or irrelevant. Okay. So, that's all about editorial paper. And to further understand it, how does it differ from the newspaper? Actually, this is what you should remember, class, that when we say news writing, it refers, or it is focusing more on informations, on giving facts, on giving the events or the news that is happening around us. But when we say editorial writing, it is about giving opinions on a certain issue that is happening around us, that causes us to take an action or to think the same way as the editors. Okay, so that's all about my report. I hope everything is clear. And so now, let's have our next reporters, Miss Danica and Miss Sarmiento. Okay, that's all. Thank you and God bless.